Hey everybody, my name is Norman, and this is my painting partner, Kiwi. So what we're going to do today is I have an 8x10 canvas, and I'm going to do a small little landscape painting on it. So if you want, stick around and see how it turns out. What I like to do at the beginning of my painting is just have a quick sketch so I can remember exactly what I would like to paint. So it's just going to be a little bit of a grassy area here, and I'm just doing it rough. And somewhere along here it's going to go up into a nice hill, and I think there'll be like a little bit of a road that'll come around like this and maybe scoot down. So it's going to it's narrow in the distance, and it's going to come a little bit thicker as it gets closer to us, and then the thickest as near the bottom here. So something like that. This is going to be sky. This is going to be grassy area. Oh, maybe I'll have it like drop down. Maybe the grass area will drop down a little bit here. Something like that. Something like that. It's just a little charcoal pencil that I'm using. I have bigger ones, but I'm just going to finish this one while I still have it. Okay, so I just mixed up some paint. I'm not going to go through all the different colors and everything. We're just going to have some fun with this. So it's not necessarily a how-to video. It's just a, hey, let's see what Norm is up to today video. I'm going to start off with some yellow and just kind of like brush it across here. And it's okay if I go over my drawing. Take a little bit of red in there. And it's not going to stay like this. We're going to go back over it again. A little bit of purple. Some blue. And over the top. I like to do the top, very top of it too. I like to do the sides, I mean, not just the top. I like doing the sides. And it doesn't have to be perfect on the sides. And if you're never quite happy with how it works out on the sides, the simple solution for that is just to paint it black. I don't know if I'm out of the frame or not, but it's just to get some paint on there. Rinse off my brush. You can see how it's spilt over there. No problem. Doesn't really matter. Now we'll just put more yellow. Now another trick that I do, sometimes I'll use like a blow dryer to help speed up the drying process. Now this is acrylic, so it dries quickly, but sometimes I want it to dry just a little bit faster. I also have a small little spray bottle that I don't know where I got it. It's a really fine mist, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll just spray it like that, and I'll use like a mop brush. This one actually is just an old makeup brush that was laying around the house. I kind of just do little swirls. You'll see me go over it and over it and over it again. So don't sweat it if it doesn't quite turn out the way you want it the first little bit. There we go. We're just going to put more paint now. We'll start with some yellow down here again. Don't be scared to use paint. Well, I say that, but I'm still kind of cautious with it because I don't want to waste paint. Dip into my purple, bring that purple up there, into the blue. The reason why I like the corners dark is because when the corners are dark, it brings the eye into the center of the painting. I'm going to start at the bottom and just little twirls. And what you're trying to do is just blend the two colors together. Blending up, barely touching it. And you can like go side to side as well. So I'm just gonna add some white down in here. I haven't even changed my brush yet. Still using the same brush. I've wet it and cleaned it a couple of times. I'm still using the same brush. Grab some yellow. You can see that we're still mixing that color in. And then I'll use my mop brush. Well, I have a bad habit of putting the brushes in my mouth and then I need to talk into the mic. Barely touching the canvas now. There we go. So just clean off my brush again. And I'm gonna go a little bit higher with the white now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip my brush, the same brush I've been using all along. I'm gonna dip it in the black and I'm just gonna come across here. Right now at this moment, I just want some darkness in there. And when you're doing like the dark, like I am right now, I'm just, sometimes the way your brush strokes are is how it's gonna look for like the grass area, how the grass is gonna come down. So for example, like this is gonna be where my hill is in my original picture. And remember I said I was gonna make it drop off. So the road will be somewhere in there and then it's gonna drop off, something like that. So right now I'm gonna add some more black on my canvas, on my palette. Now my palette's very simple. It's just a plastic container with some tin foil in there. Why, Norm? Why do you do that? But the reason why I do it, here, I'll show you. Hang on. So it's just sitting in this tin foil. It's a plastic container. It has a lid. It's actually, I think there was like some sweets or chocolate or something that it came in. So I put the tin foil in there. Normally for the bigger canvases, I'll use a palette so I can do the whole sky and everything. And then I've used this here for my details. So I can spray it, put the lid back on it, seal it up, and then I put it into the fridge. And it keeps the moisture in and it keeps my paint usable for a very long time. So back to the painting. Some yellow. We're gonna have the sun right about here, right about there. You might find that this is taking a little bit of time, but that's what makes a painting fun. I think what we're gonna have to do is let that dry a little bit. What I like to do, I take out my hair dryer and just go over it. If you ever want to see if your painting is dry or not, just kind of like feel it with your finger. And if it's tacky, then it's not dry. And the more layers you have in your painting, the more realistic it will be. If you just put like one layer, you'll still see like the canvas underneath it. It's not always the best thing. I enjoy painting, but I enjoy just the peacefulness of painting and how it makes me feel. And you can see how much sky keeps on changing from the original way I had it. But you know what? It's a painting. It should be allowed to change. Just enjoy the process of painting. Still trying to blend it. Just trying out my brushes, and if it doesn't work the way I want, I'll just switch it up. So this looks okay. It's probably not even gonna stay like that, but up above that, it's not dark enough. This is not dark enough. So I'm gonna take some of my dark blue again and just put it in there. So it's gonna just kind of blend down. Something like that. Okay, I'll do a little bit of blending up. Fun thing about clouds is can't really screw them up. You can just say that, hey, that's the way I wanted my clouds. So I'm still using the exact same brush. I haven't changed brushes yet. And it's easier to decide where your horizon's going to be after your sky is complete. Something like that. Oh, I said we were going to have it drop off. Maybe we still will. We'll see. Everything changes as we go along. It's fine. Maybe I'll just get a little bit smaller. This is a number 7 brush. First, I think I'll make this bridge a little bit higher. And the road is going to be there. It's going to be narrow and then get a little bit thicker, wider. We'll just come back to the sky. We'll let that dry and we'll come back to the sky right now. I want to make some clouds, some storm clouds, kind of. Oh, no, wait. I want to make a sky, a sun. So I'm going to take just some white and the sun right here. Have the indication of where the sun is going to be so I can work on the sky a little bit. And that's why I like acrylic, is because it dries so quickly, you can move from one area to another area. To me, that's what makes acrylic fun. It's all going to change again because I like I said, I want this to be a little bit darker clouds. Just going to have some swirly clouds in there. And because it's such a dark background, it's easy to make these clouds just pop out. And if the clouds look like here, it kind of looks like the sky's showing. And that's okay. It's no big deal there. Sometimes that makes it look cool. So what I'm doing here, it's called dry brushing. I'm really just scraping my brush along the canvas here. I think the trick to doing this is making sure that it's not a repetitive look. And you want to pick some colors, like this is like blue and then I'm just putting yellow on top. You want some colors that make it pop out too. The other thing with acrylic is that it dries quickly, like we've already discussed. And the other thing is that it dries darker than when you first put it on your canvas. So if it looks too bright at the beginning, don't worry. It's going to dry darker than you originally see it. And it's going to be a little bit darker clouds. And you're just really playing around with it, seeing what works and seeing what doesn't work. I think it's starting to look pretty good. Don't be scared to get some really bright colors in there. And you can just play around, see what works best. The only thing you really need to remember is that in order for the light to show, you need some dark. Now all I'm doing is just putting some white in the center of this, trying to make a decent circle. There, does that look like sky breaking through or is it just me? So we're just gonna grab some purple and we're gonna work up here in the sky again. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but the bristles of this brush are so short because I've used it so much that I can almost hear it just scratching the canvas surface. Have you ever looked at storm clouds and all that? They have like dark orange tint to it. A good way of separating your clouds is having a lighter area between your clouds. And we'll do the bottom of this cloud. Some yellow on my brush. I'm holding it down this way so the harder edge of the paint goes to the bottom of the cloud. The brighter side of this cloud will be on top since my sun is above it. Trying to make the clouds more realistic, making it look like more of a storm cloud. All right, so I think that's coming along pretty good. And we'll do a little bit of the highlighting of the sky and the clouds. So I'm just got a Ferbert brush, thin tip. And it's a little wet, so it's not gonna stay very dark. And I just want to highlight some of the cloud where the sun would hit them. If you find that it's too harsh of an edge, you can always dip your brush into a little bit of water and then just come back over where you think there's a harsh edge. And what this is going to do is it's just going to make the sun look a little bit brighter. Just making the top of these clouds a little bit more white because the sun is above it. I'm going to work on this area down here now, I think, because that's good enough for the clouds for this time. So let's work on this area here. I just want to know where my road is going to be. And I think my road is going to do something like this. Turn this way and turn back this way. I'm gonna have to come up more this way. I think I'm gonna make these clouds back here even more white. You need the light in order for the dark to show. Some heavy duty clouds there. It's gonna be some wicked storm clouds. I'm going to put a dash of red or purple in there just to make it angry looking. So I'm repainting the sky like I said I was going to work on the bottom. Now I'm back into the sky, but that's okay. Crazy storm clouds. Like I said, clouds are fun to make because you can't really screw them up too much. Completely different from what I envisioned at the beginning. But I mean, it's still, in my eyes, it's still beautiful. Okay, maybe down here a little bit more. I think it's looking good. Yep, okay. Let's go back to the road. So, again, I'm gonna come back to here. It's gonna be like a little cliff. Rocks going there. Some kind of a dirt road. Kind of looks like a road. Just trying to make a separation as if there was tire tracks going there. You know what? I think kind of make these rocks or something along that line. I don't know, something like that. Looks like it's coming down into the valley here. Does it look like faraway hills? Kind of. Some green. I'm gonna put some grass coming down. Whenever you put some yellow with your green, it makes it look like it's a little bit close, not only a little bit closer, but brighter. Put some on the side here. More detailed as it gets closer, obviously. Get some yellow in there in a minute. And maybe here's gonna be some more, as it goes up the side here. In the back there, you can barely see that there's a touch of green. And up here, there's gonna be more white. Here too. Just wanna make sure you don't have the same pattern going on the whole time. And this can be like just grass that's growing on the side of the road here. Little flowers. Whatever we want, really. Make like the road a little bit standing out a little bit more. We might put a little bit of grass in between here. Make some white in there. And all that's left is a little bit of highlighting. Just on the edge of the mountain peaks back here. Just on the rock edge. Just making it come alive a little bit more. And what this does, it gives it a little bit more detail, a little bit a depth. And I'm just dipping my brush back into the paint that I have in my palette. Going back and forth, like from the green, the white, and the mixture of the yellow. And there's no set color. And I'm just going quickly over the edges. Because you can always make it look like rock and, got a little, my painting partner, come here. Okay, here's my painting partner. Yeah, how are you? Come here, I'll hold. She wants me to hold her, so I'm just gonna hold her as I paint. You might hear her moaning a little bit in the background. That's what she does. She just keeps me company. My little painting partner keeps me company. Gives it a little bit different colors, different texture. And I didn't even know I was gonna have mountains. I thought it was just gonna be a grassy area, but as it turns out, we got mountains. Look at that. That's why I enjoy having you come along and just to see how it turns out. Like, I didn't know that it's gonna end up being mountains and stuff like that. I think it's cool. Just letting your painting come alive however you want it, and I had no idea. No idea when I started how this is gonna turn out. Because I didn't necessarily plan it, say, okay, this is what I'm going to be painting. I came into this little painting project and just said, okay, let's see what happens. And it's a fun way to actually enjoy your painting. So if you start a painting, just say that to yourself. And it's a lot less stress. Don't have to worry about making a certain item exactly how you thought. Certain scene exactly how you thought. You just go with the flow. You might surprise yourself. I mean, I've been painting for a while and I still surprise myself. I'm gonna put a little bit of yellow on top of there. Find that putting yellow right where the sun would be shining gives it a little bit brighter look. Sun comes down and shines right there. So let's do that. Cloud here a little bit, give it some fluffiness. And soon, I think we'll be done. And here, look at that. Now I'm gonna make these clouds come down a little bit closer to the mountains. And then that way, the mountains are gonna stand out even more. And just make those clouds fluffier, make the mountains stand out. Or hills, whatever you want to call them. And maybe, oh, I thought it was going to be white, but it ended up being a little bit pink. Must have dipped my brush in a little bit of pink there. And all I'm doing here is I'm actually highlighting the clouds, but kind of like covering up the harsh edges that I made earlier. I guess I could do it with a different brush. I mean, this one's taking a little bit longer, but I'm enjoying myself. Step back and take a look. All right, I think that looks really good. So I think that we're gonna call this one done. And what I'll do is I'll put my signature on here. We'll say that it's done. Maybe tomorrow I'll varnish it. And honestly, I can say that I'm happy with this. So I'm gonna put my brush down. And we're gonna call this one done. So this is just a tiny 8x10 canvas that I just painted today. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun for me. I had my painting partner with me, Kiwi. So enjoy your day. Till next time.